Amnian Nights, and we are back to it. We are in a temple beneath a swamp. And you'd all just struck up your conversation with Agamemnon, the Naga. And it was agreed that as you had come here respectfully, you did seem impressed by your great level of respect, they would entertain your questions. And all the while, Asher and Sire can hear this endless chanting which seems to be coming from the strange shaded figures that you found in the temple. But the others, including Agamemnon, hear nothing. That is
Wait.
where we are.
Do we know that?
Yeah, Agamemnon was like, what singing? And like looked at us weirdly. It was like, nothing, never mind.
But you specifically saw, you've envisioned her servant making the sound, right? In that room.
It stopped singing.
Yeah, it's not like we can see them actually singing.
I'm pretty sure he said,
from them.
and by he I mean the GM said you viewed them as singing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They just kind of jaw agape, stood there, catatonic to the others.
Does she know they're there?
She said she made them.
Yeah, she returned them to work, if you remember.
She did return them to work.
He, with the snake.
They.
I was gonna lapse into a snake pun, but I didn't last time, so not this time. So yes, Agamemnon looks across you all. You say you have questions. I may have answers. And if not, you shall take the remains of your friend and do with them as you will. I know there are varying customs here in your lands.
Just a quick question on that note. And friend is a strong word, but what was that person doing here that made you dispose of them?
Bit louder?
What was our guy, and our guy is such a loose term again, doing here that like caused you to dispose of them? Like what were they up to anyway?
They were not respectful of this place. They saw through the protective ward into the dragon bones, and when he could not get to them, he turned to violence against my thralls.
Protective ward?
Yes.
What protective ward?
Once I drove off the demon, I have placed my own protections around the body.
Body?
Skeletal remains. I understand they are of worth here.
They're still here? Yeah, okay.
They are.
Yeah, alright. So he was just looting them. Okay.
You say you disposed of this. We actually dispatched this demon. You speak of. How is it that you knew to come here?
Can you not sense places such as this? Do you not feel an inexorable pull when you are near?
No, not especially.
Have we?
Just a singing.
I am no longer as I was. Perhaps this is a change that is unique. But I sense the presence of an untended historical site. It is how I have made my way across your world piece by piece for the last several hundred years.
And when you arrived, you found this demon doing what exactly? Could you tell?
Attempting to cut up the bones, no doubt for some infernal intent, whether to siphon off their power or to raise it as its own sort of throne. Either way, it was a desecration of this place, and of one who served as a protector here.
Well, I, for once, I am incredibly grateful of your timely interference. I have a suspicion, she does eye to the rest, this is kind of to her and to the rest. I have a suspicion that our presence here is not a coincidence. There is a dragon intent on claiming superior power, ascendancy. Maybe the work here has something to do with that.
Tell me of this dragon. I am always interested in the dragons of your world.
His name is Sendux. Is that familiar to you at all?
It is not.
You say your world. Are you not? Are you not from here? Where are you from?
I am from a world similar to this, but located elsewhere.
Okay.
I found my way here through happenstance and magic.
Okay. I mean, let's talk about Sendax, but I have questions about that.
Very well.
Well,
What color was your Sendax? It is always of great interest to me when dragons are not red or blue.
it is an amethyst dragon.
Oh,
And supposedly a slayer of Coravelium.
that is interesting, isn't it?
Yes. It would also appear that Sendux tries to utilize Dragon Sight for his goals across worlds. Is that something that you have encountered during your hundreds of years of life?
I do not believe so, but it may be a phenomenon known by a different name. What is dragon sight?
The way I understand it is that some of those great worms can see through worlds, through realities, and even communicate with other versions of themselves. He's sort of like, he has that look on his face like he clearly doesn't understand this. Just sort of, those were words on the page. He cannot like comprehend or visualize what he's talking about. So he has this careful way of speaking those words almost into being, just sort of, and it's a new phenomenon to me. I haven't been aware of such possibilities before. We found ourselves on this path, crossed our paths with Sendaxes.
I am not familiar with this concept. Clearly my own experiences, though far-reaching, are perhaps narrow in scope compared to what occurs here.
Oh, I would be
Communicating
very...
with oneself, and variations of oneself sounds prone to abuse and danger.
That sounds very much like Sendax's MO. His goal is to take, corrupt, and
Modus operandi.
indeed take over the entire land, but also, it seems, all others in which he is a part, in other versions of world. Although I suppose it's feasible that there are versions of him that don't want to do that. I couldn't say. Perhaps he is a...
Agamemnon looks a bit. It's hard to read the facial expressions sometimes, but sort of looks away and just sort of remains impassive for a moment, staring off. Yes? You were about to speak.
Indeed, perhaps he is a stationary point across the different realities. Maybe he is the same.
I'm watching too much MCU, son.
I avoided using the word canon event for a reason. But that's actually why I'm here. This is not my home. I come from another place. Similar in some ways, but different in others. And in that time, Sendax had won. He took over everything and destroyed it all.
And you should not be here.
No, I shouldn't.
Neither should
I was attempting to utilize extremely powerful magic to undo what had been done, but it went very wrong, and I found myself here.
There is a chance that if we stop him here, perhaps your world might return to normality. At least that's the hope.
But I'm very curious, since you said you're also not from here, do you utilize magic to move, or is it a case of traveling throughout timelines, or merely dimensional shifting? Not that that would be a mere feat.
I found my way here by happenstance. I had grown ill-content with my world and found a portal. I
Portal?
thought it would be a gateway to new learning. Yet I found myself terribly cold as I landed in your northern wastes.
It is very cold up there. Such a portal common? Did your kind create it, or?
I was the only one of my kind on Theros. I was made this way. For...
Theros?
yes. It was a state afflicted upon me for my hubris.
This is raising
Sort of-
only more questions than it's answering.
I know, I keep adding to my list here. I've got a notepad thing, and I'm like, shit, more questions.
Oh, sorry, what was inflicted upon you?
This form.
Oh, you were not always as we see you now.
I was a man, a great general.
Indeed.
The gods cursed me for beginning to believe in my own legends. For this enduring, wretched form.
And your passion for history, does it predate this form or follow it? Or is it related to the curse, the gods?
Remind me your passive insight.
a lot.
Yeah,
Well, no. Yeah. No, 17.
17, okay. The eyes
Oh.
flicker for a moment. Like, much of my life, I cared nothing for history. I scoured temples and cities in my conquest. Once I was granted enduring form and found I could not be slain, at first I thought it to be a huge blessing, a boon. But being unable to die, not permanently at least, the fight lost its thrill. So my attention began to turn more to what had been lost forever every time I had burned a town to the ground or torn a keep down to the last stone. It troubled me, and perhaps preserving history is my penance for erasing much of it in my world.
Do you think there's like another you here?
I've learned enough here to know that there are other Naga on your world.
Is your world like Pip's world though, where it's like kind of the same but kind of different, and there's just different views?
No, this world is cold. Very sober.
So you came through a portal. Was that a portal created by the gods or by the hand of man?
I do not know, for I was at a low ebb and passed through without giving it much thought or scrutiny.
See, it was something you happened upon.
Yes, at the time, if it had ended me, I would not have complained. So I was not
I see.
going to pry much into its origin. I simply sought an escape.
Interesting. So did you say you haven't heard of Zendax?
I have not.
Okay. We had done quite some research on a variety of dragons. I'm curious, whose remains is it that lay in this temple that our, let's say, loose associate was interested in?
There are several engravings and carvings around this place. Not much has remained in the form of paper, book, humidity, I believe. I cannot find a specific name, but it is a smaller dragon. Perhaps an adolescent or a young adult.
Can you tell from its remains, I don't know how preserved they are, I suppose, of the kind of dragon? You mentioned having a lot of information on reds and blues, for example. I don't suppose there's a notable... Oh, okay.
Begins to sliver off.
But he'd never ask.
There's a green shimmer that Agamemnon just passes through. And yeah, you see there are some foul, small ritual circles surrounding the loosely arranged bones of a skeleton, which have a protective red glow, almost like slowly coiling serpents and chains, forming a dome over it. And you can very much get the sense that this red light is keeping something at bay from the green circles. Are you able to make your investigations from there?
Can we pass through this wall?
We are not at that level of trust yet.
I'll definitely look both to see if I can tell a kind of dragon. I was thinking, I know it's a younger one, but physiological differences like blue dragon having a big horn, that kind of shit. But I would also love to see if I can tell what kind of enchantments or magics these might be.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, the former I will give no big horn, no chunks of gems, no kind of frill, webbed frill sections, like almost like cartilage, like the silvers have. It looks to be one of the other types.
Nothing too distinguishable. At
Yeah.
least. Okay.
Make me a nature
I count
check.
the vertebrae to check.
What? Make me a nature check.
N for nature.
I would say what you do actually notice is the absence of the usual, typical sort of wing bones. You don't see the usual sort of frame of the big, scaly, typically dragon wings. Then make me an Arcana check for looking into the magic. But I mean, with your passives, you are fairly certain that these are just powerful, protective wards.
Am I able to as well?
You also are able to. Powerful, protective wards.
Yeah.
But you said the red thing is keeping something from the green things at bay?
So if you remember last time, he had interrupted a ritual that was in progress and had kind of preserved it. So the red magic, from how he's described it, is Agamemnon's.
Yeah.
And it is keeping weird shit from the green circles at bay, which is probably what the demon was trying to do.
I see.
Oh, they remain.
Hmm.
This sigils. Are they active? I think she's probably asking Pip and maybe Asher Basher. And Agamemnon.
Perhaps in a state of incompleteness, but certainly doesn't look inactive to me.
They are active, but my own enchantment denies them a suitable conduit.
I have some ability to dispel magics, if that would help. Although perhaps if you're able to conjure such an enchantment, I imagine it's within your reach as well.
I lack certain abilities in this form. Do you have amongst you holy water or silvered powder?
Yes. Yep.
Actually used my last holy water. We were attacked by a vampire, so, you know how it is.
It would be possible for you to purify using such a thing. Do you have the knowledge and means to do so?
Means maybe. Knowledge, little fuzzy.
I can guide you through this.
Okay.
I will permit just you through the barrier. Should this be a deceit, I will kill you.
I mean, yeah, if this is a deceit, that's probably what will happen, right? This goes both ways. But yeah, I'll come through.
And yeah, you find that just you feel able to pass through. And are
It is deeply uncomfortable.
Asher's a little...
She tenses up, like as
well,
Asher leaves.
I mean, there's worse ways to go, I guess. Eaten by a giant snake that used to be a general from another world. Sure, why not?
How experienced are you?
I mean, I gotta be honest, I'm better with potions and alchemical, things of that nature. I'm still kind of working my way through the spell casting world. However, there are some innate magical abilities that I have.
I'm more of the learned type, but not a cleric, if that's what you're asking.
And Agamemnon comes a bit closer to you, Asher, and then just sort of rises up a little bit and turns through the barrier and looks at Obsidian. It's like, stalwart one. You have a strong arm, yes?
I imagine so, although not sure what sort of strength you possess in this form.
In a recess to the south, there is a brazier of incense. I would have you bring it. We will say for this particular section, Obsidian, as you approach the brazier, we will pretend that all the other dragon skeletons are not there.
Sorry, what?
To be original.
Chorus kind of following you until they get 30 feet. Then they puff out, and then they puff back in. They puff back out, puff back in. I don't like it when the party's split.
I know.
Yep, and you're able to pick that up and bring it back.
Is it the evil one or the normal one?
It's the green one.
Hmm.
Does that answer the question?
Evil or normal?
Everything's green is evil.
Yeah, not purple guys. Purple's for good guys.
Cool with royalty, I heard.
I mean, I feel like when you see green flames, you sort of assume something fucky's about.
It's confusing that her ward is also green, though. This is like...
No, it's the red that's the good guy ward.
No, but there's also like the ward in the door.
Just pick sometimes, guys. I just
Red's quite close to purple.
I just pick a colour sometimes.
Well, you should color
I
code
don't
whose
sit there
magic
with
is whose.
My plot-related colour wheel.
We would have lost our shit if it was purple.
It was, yeah.
Well, like I feel like someone lights a match and there's the slight smell of sulfur, and Gigi's like, "Did Corey Galzu do this?" Like wherever you go.
I mean, she likes red and blue dragons, and what makes purple guys?
I mean, I actually did think that when she said that.
No, I'm not gonna check. So yeah, you bring the brazier, and Agamemnon turns to Asher. It's like, bring this.
Okay. What? I just reach through.
Yep.
And grab it.
She collapses under its weight.
Yeah, it's heavy. It is heavy. Absolutely, it's a bit of a from my knees. And yeah, it is filled with extremely potent incense.
Now that I am closer, though, can I attempt to recheck these sigils on the floor? Like maybe poke out?
You'd have seen that you're only 10 foot closer. I feel like you got what you were gonna get from them. They are absolutely unfamiliar to you, and they stink.
I was just wondering if these are the type of sigils where, like with a lot of sigil magic, like if I, interrupt one of the drawn lines or
I
something.
think you can probably imagine by this point that if it was a case of that, this giant snake person with the intelligence of ages.
I don't know. He didn't know
tail
about dragon
scuffed.
sights, so who knows? He used to be a dumb military general. He's clearly new to this.
Or maybe that causes an explosion,
Yeah, you're a fool. So yeah, Agamemnon is like, you are of the priesthood?
Oh, not... sure.
To whom are you dedicated?
Myself.
This will affect the wording of the incantation.
I actually don't know. Sorry.
I will use generic terms then. And yeah, he effectively is going to guide you through the casting of the Hallow spell, which
Cool.
is 5th level. It is very much at his direction. At certain points, he stops and talks you through using your powdered silver and the incense, which begins to burn down extremely rapidly. Make me a Constitution saving throw with advantage. It is extremely taxing, and you feel your energy being sapped at a rate that you are just not used to with spellcasting. It feels the same, but it is like so much more intense as you're pushed into this level of spellcasting that you are really not equipped for. But there's also that sense that you can tell that the burden is being heavily shared by Agamemnon. And yeah, with a eventual rush of pale blue magic that washes over the area from you, although I can't remove them from the map, all of the circles go inert, the foul stench goes from the air, and it appears a bit more still and natural in this room. This is good. And the red dome goes. My trust is established.
Oh, well, good. Likewise, I guess.
Time to die!
Yeah, we've got the dragon bones. Let's fuck him up.
Atticus, is that you?
Yeah, those things are worth something.
Atticus would 100% kill the snake for dragon bones.
Yeah,
Or try.
Can we step forward respectfully?
yeah, it's gone.
Respectfully.
Things feel once more as they should.
Except for that singing. I would like to
You
approach
mentioned
to the
speaking again.
singing.
You
They
speak
could
of
hear
it
it.
as more than an expression. This is not of the same line of, if these walls could speak. You are speaking literally.
Yeah.
Ever since we entered this temple, Asher and I can hear song coming from the beings we encountered. The ones who were
Even
praying.
slightly before we came into the temple, you said you could hear it. But Obsidian and I cannot.
Also, like, I knew right where it was coming from. Like, I just...
Yeah.
Like, once I could hear it, it was like, yep, that way. They're your guys, aren't they?
They are, yes. My
But you-
attendants.
But you don't... Like, did you not know they sang?
I am yet to hear them sing.
Oh.
Are they singing now?
I don't know. Can I hear it, DM? I'm not hearing anything from Foundry right now.
Are you not?
I'm not.
Turn your volume up.
Me neither.
Well, I need to
Are we just a bit
refresh
far away? I've stopped hearing it too.
Oh, it is. It's. I can still just hear it on mine.
it. Oh, maybe I'm just deaf.
Let me
Oh yeah, environment should be clear a bit up.
crank
If
it
I
Um,
moved- If I move to the right side of the room.
up.
Sita is going to try to sing it along. Because we've been hearing this for a while, that she at least can, like, hold the tune. Not the words, but... Or maybe unless she understands the words. What are they saying? Does she understand the words?
Is it a gender thing?
could be. Yeah, so she's gonna sort of like follow the melodic line.
And yeah, you recognise it, Asher.
Mhm.
It doesn't seem to be any sort of melody to Pip and Obsidian. It's like discordant, like.
Even when they do it, oh,
Yeah.
that's creepy.
That is
Like if
kinda creepy
if
cool.
you had never heard Siri sing before, this might be the moment of like, oh Jesus, she wanted to be.
Yeah, I don't think they have-
Athkatla's next.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bard she is not. But
Siri,
to you, Asher, it's reflective of
Yeah.
the song.
I'm so sorry, but that just sounds like a lot of maybe a cat in a bag.
I'm so sorry. Well, please stop.
No,
It-
that she did it like spot on, pretty much.
Not melodious whatsoever.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm
Yeah,
not
it is.
trained.
Maybe screams of pain could be compared.
It's
Are we
That-
hearing different things? I feel.
Sure feels like
I'm
it.
gonna look at Snake, babe, and see what their face is right now. Did they seem to hear a cat in a bag, or?
I am waiting.
Oh, did you not hear anything just now?
You spoke of singing and then cats in sacks, and
Did you see her mouth open even?
I thought she was preparing or nervous.
Oh. Do you have something on you? Like a spell or something?
I was a man, and now I am a giant eternal snake.
Right. But that's weird. So it would seem that Sire and I hear very melodic singing, but if we try and reproduce it, they, and she's pointing to Pip and Obsidian, hear caterwauling, but you hear nothing. That's very strange. Do those guys talk? Can I go ask them about that?
They cannot speak.
I mean, but they're singing though, so maybe you just can't hear them.
I create them, so this would be most unusual. But we can certainly try.
I'm just gonna be right back.
I will attend you.
What if that
Um,
spooks them though?
We're all going. You're not going without me, Asher.
Just take all.
My buddies will protect me.
Asher,
Yeah.
as we all kind of like step in, Sid's just gonna like stand here by this stairs and look towards the central plinth. And she's gonna look to you, and she's gonna go like, "Can you feel that? Like a call." And she's gonna go into the water.
Cast detect magic.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow and be like, oh my god, you're so right.
Were you casting detect magic?
Hell yeah.
Have you cast it in here before?
No.
That's the illusion fate now. So what would be magic? Was it 60 foot? I guess Agamemnon turn shows up as a creature who is magical in nature. 60 feet. Yeah, I don't think anything.
Within
Just
30 of
30.
me.
Oh, is it 30?
Yeah, it's 30.
Okay. Yeah, other than Agamemnon, nothing. But like even moving closer towards the plinth, nothing magical comes up.
I mean, I would at least maybe step so that the plinth is in range.
Yeah, still no magic.
Okay.
Here,
And-
right?
Yeah.
No, I was talking to Siri.
And nothing particularly of note from the Naga other than the fact they're a Naga.
Yeah, exactly. No obvious. Oh no, there is an illusion. Or he has this on him or whatever.
Obsidian, this doesn't sit right with me. We must investigate. I don't think it can be the bones, but if they are able to identify the assistants as singing, perhaps I'll be able to tell something from them.
And
Oh,
there's
dear.
a burst of sudden green light that
Green!
that blast that
Is it
blasts
the good or
out
bad color?
that blasts out across Asher and Sire.
It's a portal. You're gone, guys. See you later.
What does it feel like? Oh, okay. Well, I guess we'll see.
no, it is
Loading
a portal.
someplace else.
Oh, turn that
Oh, God.
off.
We are legitimately someplace else.
Oh,
Yeah, you find the two of you just stood a beautiful, intricate floor of glass and gems underfoot.
how do I
Obsidian
feel?
and Pip nowhere to be seen.
Sure.
Is Cora around?
No.
No. Ooh,
You
that's
try
weird.
You try to bring him forth, and there's just no feel of him. But there isn't that sort of loneliness you might expect from feeling that before. Like, you've occasionally woken up in the morning or in the middle of the night and had a moment where your sleepy mind doesn't have an awareness of, and there's that sense of just like soul wrench and panic for half a moment. Like where you wake up and you haven't realised that a terrible, terrible dream was actually a dream yet, and you have a moment of you kind of feel that relief being here anyway.
So I feel relieved and not at all panicked that we just poured it.
This feels like no big deal.
Cool. This floor is gorgeous.
And is there music coming from here? Is what's happening?
No, you can just hear like the gentle sounds.
I can still see that spell going off. As
I
well.
know.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay, fine.
Yeah,
fine.
it's Pip's fucking. I don't know how long it lasts. I did remove the spell effect, but it just seems to keep going.
I'm gonna reach
Probably
down and just
need
kind of
to
like
check the
poke
sequence
and
earlier.
prod at, maybe pick a little at these, like at this flooring because it's gorgeous. And walk around a bit.
Yeah, what can we see here? It's clearly a door. So,
So I've edited the map a little bit. There are no doors other than the large doors up the stairs.
Okay.
And you both see in a script that it was unfamiliar, that is unfamiliar to you, but that you both find that you understand, is dreams interrupted may find another night.
Night, as in nighttime.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. I will take the stairs two at a time, super casual and unbothered.
am I really not bothered by the fact that Pip's not here? Or Obsidian?
It kind
Just
of
like-
feels in this moment not a big deal.
Really?
I mean, you may speak about it. I have obviously added Pip and Obsidian invisible to this scene so that they can move around and keep on top of what happens.
Should we, this is a door in front of us, right?
Yeah.
Should we, go through?
Seems like the next most reasonable thing to do.
Alright. I'm gonna put a hand on the door. Tell where
Oh dear.
invisible Pip is.
Oh, fucking hell, yeah, you can't.
Ooh.
I need to move him.
On the tabs on the left, if there should be a control that's like a little movie reel thing, the sequencer layer, and you can just delete any effects from there.
I don't have a movie. I had the sequencer layer, but that didn't actually
Or is that the
seem to-
controls? I think it's in there somewhere, but I'll try and look for a macro.
I'll move down to it for now. So yeah, you see what you see.
That is amazing. Sirius steps closer in awe.
There is another carving on the marble at the base. Only unity can forestall a uniter.
Unites them.
Turning to Sarah. That's Syndax's title, isn't it?
That's what he would like it to be, that's for sure. Okay, so this is a statue, not a creature.
It is a statue.
Do you know what this being is?
I mean, okay, if I'm just guessing, and again, I'm not very good with all the books and tracking things, but like, the only one that we know that's been willing to stand up to Zendex in this and other worlds is the poor one that died that you slept under the boat. The temple was her unborn twins. So if I were gonna guess, I would say it's her, but it could also be her consort. Those were that we were just near.
Sirius gonna
Was
reach
all
out
of that
and
so high pitched with like a perpetual question mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Asher's trying her best.
I'd like to like sort of caress the statue. Respectfully.
You have to reach up, like to step forward a little bit. You see that this towers up above you quite a bit. But yeah, reaching forward, you can put your hand on it. Feels very warm.
Very warm.
Unity of what though? Unity of other dragons? Unity of everyone? Because that's gonna be hard because a lot of people have like joined Semnax's side.
Both of you being here, I'll give you a couple of things. The song that you hear now is different. Well, different voice, a single voice. It is emanating directly from the statue. And it sounds very mournful, as opposed to the voice singing it in the other room, where it seems to be a bit more reverential.
And we can't understand the words. Can we? I mean, I think Sarah's still kind of like with her hand to the statue, just kind of like tracing the release of it and sort of looking at it really closely.
I'm gonna just try and
Clearly
look
this-
around, see if
You brought us here to tell us this, but I don't know why.
Don't know who. And I'm looking around to see if there's any sort of like Corvellian was here, or you know.
XOXO Carvelian.
Yeah, like any sign of. Man, I'm just looking around.
Ironically, looking around in completely disunion. Different places. You take the right side, I take the
We
left
are
side.
united in looking around.
Right.
Nothing?
No. The flowers all seem fresh. The wings doesn't show too much on the statue, but feathers, although it's subtle, they are of varying rainbow colours, despite the rest of the statue being jade. There are different colours, tinges and tints as you move around the statue.
What an incredible creature. And is this real fire?
Yes.
Can I try and touch the statue as well?
Yeah. It's cold.
Alright.
Okay.
Both.
Siri's gonna go down on her knees. And meditate.
That should do.
Yeah, alright. I'll sit next to you, but it's not down on my knees. I'll just kind of pop a squat.
Yeah, I thought you were waiting for like an absolute different battle for.
No. I think I'll just squat for a little bit and then eventually just sit down and lay down with my arms back my head like this.
Have you done this before? She asks, eye closed, very like straight spine on her knees, like toes tucked underneath her feet.
Done what?
It's meditation.
I mean, I mostly just lay there and think about nothing.
You can think about nothing. I find it very difficult to think about nothing. This is as close as I can get. But it's fleeting.
I'm just gonna reach in my pocket and pull out some fire moss and hand it over, just like offer like want some help.
Thought you thought this was gonna make me crazier.
I don't think this would make you crazy. I don't think it would make you crazy. I use it to chill out. It's the other stuff that's the wild ride. But it turns out that was the blood of a dragon that was being tortured, so kind of kills that vibe.
You tried that? You know what?
She will just keep
Don't
her
answer.
mouth closed
I don't.
and her
I
eyes
don't.
closed, just laying
I don't
there.
want to know. I don't want to know. But I guess Siri will take the offered fire moss. Is it fire moss? hope she doesn't mind.
You just see the statue just staring down at you both. Almost reproachfully.
It's ceremonial.
I feel a strange pressure. I don't know that this is the right place. I mean, I feel strange pressures all the time.
Perfect place for it. All right. Suit yourself, and I'll use some, and then just lay on the floor, listening to the music.
After a few minutes and a moment, we reach a moment where you do both just sort of feel somewhat relaxed. There is a almost sound of rushing wind for a moment, and although you don't hear a voice, the impression of words are put directly into your minds. I do have a journal to share through all this, don't worry. But the words just make an impression on your mind, saying, "And it was my dream that they would embody both purity of form and purity of essence."
Where are you sharing this?
I feel her mourning.
The singing stops. And then, in a flash, the left brazier just erupts in a torrent of fire that engulfs you, Siren. And the,
Oh,
right,
dear.
and the right brazier engulfs you, Asher, in a torrent of flame that just lasts for a moment and seems to do no harm. You are each left with a strange sense of having been changed somewhat. Sirin, you have gained the purity of form trait, and Asher,
Ooh.
you have gained the purity of essence trait. To summarise, Siri, you can now use Divine Smite once per day. Asher,
Woohoo!
you can see into the ethereal plane.
Cool.
And after a moment, before you even really had a chance to reflect upon this, Obsidian, Pip, that huge torrent of green light erupts as Asher and Siri step onto that central plinth. A huge burst of green light leaps up around them, but nothing otherwise seems to have happened. The
So,
event seemingly having taken place in a moment.
okay.
Is the flame just like whatever to me? I'm gonna absolutely scream, "Ha! Fuck!" Just, what does my vision look like if I can see the ethereal plane?
I mean, it's not like an all the time thing. You're able to detect it. It isn't like you're walking around like fucking Frodo with a ring on 24/7.
Yeah, that's
like, ah! Yeah, so this place just seems normal at the moment, so as you wouldn't really know yet.
okay. Okay, you good? She will say to Sarah, since we just got engulfed in flame and then popped back here.
I feel renewed. And I feel seen and utilized.
Honestly, I feel a little sad.
Are you
We shall take
alright?
her wisdom.
What? Oh, yeah. Sorry, how long were we gone?
You weren't gone.
Yeah, we were.
I believe we may have been granted an audience to.
She will look towards the snake.
It seems to be listening. It's like there was an eruption of light, but you did not leave to my eyes.
Oh yeah, we popped off to some really gorgeous chamber with a statue. And there were words and more singing, but a different voice. And if I had to guess, it was either Corvellium or her lover.
Consort.
I don't know the word that dragons use. Partner.
Consort.
Consort.
Typically.
Okay. It was one of them.
Where's that voice coming from?
Well, we know what Coravellium looked like because we slept under her remains.
Oh, that's
And
right. I wasn't there for that. Did the bones match up?
they looked more draconic to my eyes.
Oh. So that
Perhaps
must
the
have been
consort indeed.
Then.
Slightly smaller in size.
Jim, if I go back and peep at those bones, do they seem to be of the rough makeup of that kind of type of dragon with the feathery not wings and more
And the
serpent-like?
snake body. Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back. I mean, I don't know what their name was, but it seems like that was them. They were just enshrined in this temple mourning.
So
Babies.
you had a vision then?
Felt more like a. Honestly, felt more like a meeting or an audience.
Yeah.
Inscribed upon his prints were the words, "Only unity can forestall the uniter." Seemed like a message they wanted us to take back with us, as well as their blessings. It seems that though we came here almost by happenstance, like yourself, with two Agamemnon, we found exactly the place we needed to be. You
Such is
are,
often the way of things.
you two are pulled by the ebbs and flow of fate. You found a portal that took you exactly where we needed you to be for this moment. If you feel that pull to other places, would you kindly keep in touch?
I will, though I think that my work here will take some decades. But after that, if I feel drawn elsewhere, I shall send my attendants to you.
If in your research you learn their name, wouldn't you guys want to tell us? I really want to know their name. The consort, that is.
I do not know where I would find this information here, unless more chambers are revealed to me, but very well.
I'm going to still wander off on my original goal to go talk to buddies.
Yeah. They are now involved in various bits of trimming and plant cultivation and tidying and scraping tiles, but are all just sort of singing as they work through their tasks.
I'll just approach them. Do they seem to respond to me at all?
As you approach each of them, they like turn and like bow their heads, but like return to their work.
I was hoping I could ask you some questions. I'm gonna look at all of them.
There seems to be like recognition that you're speaking to them, but and you don't feel like it's an unwillingness, but maybe more just an inability to speak. What I will give you, actually, Asha, is they look slightly different to you now. They seem to have, over the clothing they have, just ghostly hints of other items of clothing. Martial looking, like unfamiliar armor of like strips of leather, shawls round shoulders, different styles of like vambraces, large brooches here, like typical sort of Greek soldier style armor, but like just in ghostly elements over the stuff they're wearing now.
Alter, I don't think they can actually talk.
I think they are potentially manifestations of like men once were. Should we he points at the remains of the unnamed adventurer?
Yeah.
Yeah, remember, it isn't actually a skeleton, it's just a corpse.
Yeah.
Probably gather
Yes. What's the state of him in terms like what's
So
cause of death?
he looks as a couple of, a week or so old. It's only when you come to move him that you realise there is very little in the way of like rigor mortis or even rigidity to him, and you very quickly suspect that this person was very, very crushed, perhaps in the coils of a large serpent type thing. He is a bit floppy.
There's no cloth. Are you looking for cloth? I'm looking for cloth. Like something to cover him.
For some sort of like not dog tags, but you know,
ID.
something that we
It's
can
a little
bring
Adventurers
back.
Guild pin.
Yeah, something or like his bag or satchel.
Yeah, there's a satchel on the floor
Can
next
I
to him.
gather his belongings
You
and
can.
his pin
You can, yeah.
to return
Yeah.
to the?
Do I have something? I think I may have a blanket as part of like
Yeah. Well, this kind
the
of
bedroll.
somewhere. You can.
Yeah. I'd like to sort of using some rope and maybe like the folded bedroll or something, just kind of so we don't have to expose his face to the
The guild. Here's a sack of your
Wow.
mate.
Well, I think
yeah.
I was gonna suggest. In fact, Ash will be like, "Listen, there's no way we're getting this body back, so I figure we just take this pin and his bag back to the guild, and then maybe take the body and put him under these vines here to the side and let the temple claim him."
We can't take it back.
Oh, body.
Well, we're going to be teleported back through the pipes.
Yeah, okay.
Unless
I think
they
we
are.
should then at least leave the temple before we do that, though.
Yes. Well, I can. Between me and Obsidian, we can probably. I'm just thinking maybe he has a family that wish to visit.
Okay. Well, I'll still keep the belongings like aside from the body, but yeah.
Would Obsidian be willing to help me carry this body? How big is this guy? Are we talking about like a slight adventurer? Are we talking about like 6'3"?
Hill giant? No, he's he's just a man. Just an innocent man.
Not a halfling.
No, he's
No.
not a halfling.
Right, seems tall.
Yeah, 5'10". But I imagine a bit shorter because many of his bones have been broken.
That'd be slightly higher than Atticus then.
Yeah.
As we get him ready, Scylla will turn to Pip and say, is there anything else we need to do here? I feel like we've achieved everything.
I'm sure we've got some more questions we could ask. Sorry, the singing is very loud. Bear with me.
Quit singing. You're hearing different.
Yeah, again, he's like, enough!
Perhaps some questions about the surrounds. The way we came in, there were many, many bones. Do you know anything about that?
Yes, this place was filled with bones. One of the first things we did was clear it out. Your companion is a newer intrusion. I do not know how long the Hezru had been here, defiling and bringing victims, but it was a graveyard.
Hey, what did you make them from? Pointing to the dudes. Are these... They look kind of like they're wearing old uniforms.
I remember them. That is how I create them. They were my elite, my most trusted companions.
Oh. But it's like not actually them. You just you remember them? They're like memories?
This is as I say.
Huh. They don't seem able to talk. Do they ever talk?
No.
It's weird they can sing.
So you keep saying. I, for one, am glad I cannot hear it.
Why?
I imagine it would echo terribly in such a place.
I think it's kind of nice.
Well, have you more questions, or are you to be on your way?
Sorry. Yes. I understand this is a Netherese temple, is it not?
I have learned a small amount of Neveril in my time here. This place is not of Neveril. It was built long after.
I see. I thought
This
it was.
region is afflicted by many remnants of that calamity that I understand happened here. This place was built later.
Ah. I was just curious, as I understand that they practiced some kind of time magics, and I wondered if you knew anything of the sort.
I do not. Magic of time seems to be a risky thing. You seem to enjoy
Indeed.
dabbling in higher magics.
When needs must, I suppose. Limited options. I do have a few questions about places that you might have more information than we do on. For example, I know of some ruins in the Moonshay Isles that I believe were dwarvish. I could name several places, and you can tell me if any of them are familiar to you.
I know that the dwarves established several strongholds on the Moonshay Isles to mine the ores that dwell beneath them, beneath the ocean.
Okay, but nothing of particular interest. There is also a destroyed draconic monitoring outpost up north. You mentioned you passed by that area near the high ice. I don't know if there's any knowledge you have about that particular outpost or area.
I know that a great outpost was constructed there long ago to keep an eye on a particularly ferocious white worm, but I also understand that same worm took offense at the outpost and destroyed it.
Understandable. I don't suppose you know the name of the particular worm.
I only heard it referred to as the White Death.
The White Death. Ah, I think we know that name, don't we? Someone tell me the name. Come on. Is that
That's the name. No?
Mithras.
Oh, Mithras, yes.
cool. And then finally, there's the Leaf Gate south of Athkatla, a portal to the Feywild.
I am familiar with this Feywild, though I have not been there. Travelling through one plane of existence is enough for me.
Understandable.
But I understand that there is a great woodland fort that leads to a gate to your world's equivalent of... yes. Your world's nature realm.
I see. Additionally, there were a few servants, generals of Sendax. I was wondering if you had any information on any of them. With Lady Decay and Zugtmsor,
I beg
Faxel
your
Silver,
pardon?
Lord Sanguinar.
What is the third one?
Third was Faxel Silva.
Well, so the first couple is like, no. It's like, I have heard of Faxocilia, a great despoiler. I have read accounts.
I can't remember what I know about it now.
I have read accounts of his activities. They are said to be tremendous in scale. He's a beast of the Shadowfell. I know him
That
only
doesn't
because
fill me with confidence.
I have read accounts of his destruction of a great temple of Amonator.
A what?
Amonator. He is a god of your realm, is he not? Religion check, everybody.
Dear Legend. Oops. Nope.
Is Obsidian participating? No. Okay. Pip, you would know that Amonator was the god of the light and sun before Lathander, and many people believe that he was actually reborn as Lathander.
I say something to that effect.
This temple he desecrated was located in the Shining Plains. Is Obsidian here, or is he lingering by himself in the central chamber?
He is lingering.
Okay.
He's a bit of a lingerer.
Then I will have Asher, Siri, and Pip make history checks, please. Pip, yours is at disadvantage.
Disadvantage history.
God. My word.
Okay, yeah.
God damn it. Okay. Yeah, Pip kind of asked my question, one of my questions for me. I was going to describe all the generals and just see.
Yeah, none of the others that you list he gives any
Okay.
acknowledgement of.
Listen, before we go, just on the off chance, I did mention that I was into the alchemical arts. I don't suppose you have any.
Enough! And the singing stops again.
I thought he couldn't hear it.
Oh shit, yeah. Yeah, that's what he wouldn't, man. Yeah, he would have carried on.
I thought I caught him in a lie there. Okay.
No. An inconsistency. Go on.
I was just wondering if you happen to have any alchemical knowledge, and if you were willing to share.
The business of potions and elixirs was never mine to trifle with in life, and in how I find myself now, it has been of equally little use to me.
Fair enough, but
however, I feel I have guided you through an advanced ritual.
Oh yeah, that was a rush.
Hopefully
right?
some part of you will retain those moments and teachings.
Yeah, like a sieve, this. But yeah, sure. Man. I'll be honest, I'm kind of sad to leave this place. Have you ever seen that statue? In all of your going around of this temple?
Which statue?
The statue that Siri and I got, that we, I don't know, teleported to when we went on that central dais?
I have not.
It was very sad.
It is sad that I have not, or the statue itself was sad.
The statue itself was kind of sad.
Was it weeping?
No. I just felt like the whole vibe was a little mournful.
It carried a mournful tone, but also a hopeful one. There are two engravings that speak of hope. There's an engraving of dreams interrupted and how they can be carried on in a different night. And then a way forward through unity. For sure, this is a place that feels the loss of potential. But it also feels the promise of something that is yet to come.
I will keep this in mind as I continue to expand my knowledge of this place.
Well, it was really cool meeting you, Agamemnon.
You are the first mortals I have encountered who I have not had cause to kill in several decades.
Hopefully not the last.
We shall see. We may meet again.
Yeah, it'd be cool if we
I
met
have
again.
faith that that encounter will also remain peaceful.
Yeah.
You have shown good nature.
I don't suppose you know what else resides in the cave outside the doors that we came in? We definitely heard noises. Growls.
Those creatures definitely did something to my plate. It's falling apart. Every step I take, something else falls.
I thought you simply did not take good care of your equipment, if I'm honest.
Oh, I take very good care of my equipment. There's some creatures outside.
I shall take your word for it. There were creatures who feast upon metal, and also dreadful cursed statues. If you've not encountered them, then I would steer clear.
Yeah, maybe we blow those pipes the moment we leave this place.
Which pipes?
Oh, we've got a way of getting back to where we need to go. It teleports us when we play the pipes.
Why do you not simply do it from here?
It felt weird from I mean, we could, but kind of felt weird from doing it within here. This is like a
No, I understand. It just feels rude.
yeah.
I gave our word to the guide that brought us here, a wonderful creature by the name of Clarice. She is the guardian of the swamp beyond here. That we would leave a sign of our well-being, so that she wouldn't carry her worry about our fate.
A small oath to keep, but an important one. Very well, you should leave.
Alright.
I enjoyed our meeting.
Likewise.
Oh, thank you, Agamemnon.
I'm gonna go around and say goodbye to each of these dudes.
Yeah, they each bow their heads and try to hold your hands for a moment.
Sia just gives a salute, like a military salute, like a respectful salute.
Bitch, I got no hands!
I'll catch you later, Agamemnon. Again, it was really nice to meet you. Ian. Hey, you trying to make it work for you?
No, I'm exporting maps.
He's just standing on the central thing.
Yeah, he would be sort of looking around a little bit, like sort of confused as to what has transpired. He's not trying to reactivate it, more just trying to feel what it's all about.
We've got the body and we're ready to head out.
Let's head out then.
And to summarise, treading past steps, is our intent to just go back in the pool we came through, swim up, pile the little stone cairn, and then blow the pipes?
Yes.
If we don't do that, we could save on some water breathing potions.
Well, we don't really need to drink a water breathing potion to just. I mean, it was such a small. You know. I know I can
How
hold
deep
my
was it?
breath to get up that.
It's like 50, 60 foot.
I can just go. I can
I
swim
hold my breath
there.
for like 5 minutes.
I'm good. I haven't used
Does
one to
Luca
begin
think
with,
she can
so...
hold a breath for 5 minutes?
No.
Or
No. Asher. Definitely not Luca.
Absolutely not. I'd be the first one to drown. But yeah, if it's a matter of like putting the little stones, I think either Obsidian or Syria or together, we can go there, come back, and then blow the pipes at the entrance of this cavern.
well, just to avoid either of you being alone, why don't you, both of you go quickly do that and then come back, and then we can leave.
Fine.
Okay, so yeah. You go do that. Then
Well,
blow the pipes.
as we swim up together and be on the land, she then will look towards Syria as she's building the pile of stones, I imagine. So, you have now experienced a vision of your own, and you're fully invested in it. You're not even calling it a vision. You think it's something more, something stronger.
I've never experienced a vision.
Hmm.
I don't know what one would feel like, but I interacted in this space. I could walk around, I could touch, I could feel the warmth of the statues. Stone in my hand, the coolness of the fire.
Yes, sounds familiar. Casually walks around and picks up a stone.
Look, it's not like I meant to not take your vision seriously. That wasn't the intent. Just merely My visions don't. It's not a vision. That audience. The message was not for me to do something or to follow something. It was more like the creature itself making a plea to whoever would listen.
Sounds very different. He puts another stone in. Well, I'm glad you found something worth following then.
You do understand that you came into our lives following articles because your goddess told you to do, even though I pled with you, Obsidian. I asked for your help, and you still backed them, and you pushed, and then now you follow me. I have such respect for you. I just don't know what to make of it.
Well, that's probably enough stones for a message.
Why are you so distant? You avoid us. You avoid Asher and Pip and myself. Every time. Whether at the guild in town or in some ruins or in a temple.
We are but strangers, joined by a strange cause. Not one I understand. And if what the creature says and what you say is the paths of fate, then we land where we are supposed to. Does it even matter what we do?
I think it does. I still think we have a choice.
Yes, I would hope so.
I have felt you pull away. And I don't know if it's because you're taking your convictions or if perhaps the ones you now follow is less inspiring than the ones you used to follow. I still don't know what it is that you want, that you are pursuing.
Matters not.
It matters to me.
Diving then.
Sure.
We shall return.
So, yeah.
Meanwhile, Asher, you never explained. How is it that you know Undercommon?
Well, so I grew up in Waterdeep, and my adopted parents were merchants, and so all the kids kind of picked different languages to learn, so that like when we went around in the caravan every summer, there was always at least one person that knew a language. I thought Undercommon would be cool because I'd always heard there's like some big underground place where there's lots of crazy things that grow, and I thought maybe it'd be cool one day to visit there. sell some potions. I don't know.
Sounds like a really interesting place to go.
Yeah, I mean, that was a long time ago, though. Like, that was long before I had ever heard of, Athkatla and City of Coin and all that, so. I doubt
Well-
I'll ever go.
If you want to go one day when this is all finished, I'll go with you.
Maybe as a special, just a summer visit. Shut up the shop for a bit.
Just a summer fling. I mean, summer holiday.
Atticus, is that you?
The mask slips.
Some things remain the same.
It's a canon event.
Yeah, we should totally do that. I think that would be fun. There's so many things I've heard that grow down there. I make all sorts of things.
Yes, I've heard there's some plants that. In fact, we've seen some plants that give off a lot of light. So I'm not going to say that. They're here.
So yeah, we will blow the pipes. A few moments later, you feel the pull of Magira's spell bringing you back to the Adventurers Guild, and we will pick back up. Blast of light, you find yourselves stood once more at the Adventurers Guild with a large sack of meat. Sangzor comes trotting over and watches interestingly from afar, chewing it. I'm not editing my map, but I imagine these bushes around Sangzor's pen have rapidly depleted over the course of your adventure. But yeah, he is just there sort of chewing and watching as Magira looks across the wall and says, all went well?
Well, we did
Well, we're alive.
find the guy.
Joe looks at the sack and says, I trust that he was not as lucky.
He was definitely not alive when we found him.
That is the most suspicious way to say that.
Just comes
I'm
to her
afraid he-
naturally.
How did you get to us so fast, Michael? I was in the car that hit her.
Oh, Michael.
He tried to defile the remains of a temple, and the temple's protector was not amenable to that.
Defile seems like a strong word, but such is the risk of the job we perform. Our exploration is not always interpreted as such.
Well, sadly, it did mean that there was nothing for us to find to bring back. Except his remains, of course.
Asher will step forward and hand over the satchel and Adventurers Guild pin.
Ah, yes, thank you. I'll have this cleaned and reissued when needed.
Ah, he had a satchel. Could we have looted him?
It's-
I actually didn't even look through him.
You didn't.
No.
Well, you must want refreshment, I imagine. I don't know how soon you were intending to follow up on this payment with your transportation to Eshperta.
I definitely need to make a run to an armorer before we leave.
Yeah, it'll probably not be till the morning.
Very well.
Has Clem returned?
Not as of yet.
Thank you.
It's only been 2 days. He's been on debaucherous sprees that have lasted longer than that.
Of course.
Well,
Alright, When
What
I get
damage?
to the door, I'm gonna turn to the others and be like, "Do we want to check our rooms? Is it time to check our rooms?"
It should be done.
Shouldn't 2 be done, or was the night that you stayed over after the demon frog the roll
So-
over to the other 2?
So the note says, so we would have 2 ready on day 24 and the other 2 on day 25. It is now day 25, but I don't know if it's like you need the full day 20.
Fine.
You know.
Cool.
Sure. Do you want to go now?
It's up to you. I just figured I'd mention it because I'm super curious.
Or if we're going to stay there overnight, should we refresh ourselves and run any errands before turning in there for the night? What time is it?
Are
late
we
afternoon.
staying there for
Pip
the
pulls
night?
an oversized pocket watch out of his pocket.
Running late. Yeah. I mean, we would stay there overnight.
I mean, we can go now. We can always come back.
I'm down for whatever. If you got errands you want to run first, and then we just go there for the night, and I'll step into this place, so we're not just hanging out here with the evil goat.
Have you caused any damage, beast?
It slightly stomps at the floor.
I'll hear all about it anyway.
Nope, no one here.
Good goat. Get your carrot.
We'll say hello to
Mila?
I can never remember Mila. Whatever her name is.
Yeah, Mila.
Yeah.
Does it behave?
I guess I'll ask Mila or Hubris for any received mail as we were away, or message or word.
There is no received mail, but it has also only been a couple of days in game time.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
Just checking the mail as I do every day when I return home.
To Obsidian, Mila sort of lowers her tone, lowers her voice and says, "There was a bit of awkwardness. Not that I'm complaining. There was a rather pushy salesman yesterday morning who would not take my polite refusal that we were not interested, and the goat skewered his rump. I did give it quite a large turnip afterwards."
Seems it is using its temper for good cause.
I really hope he doesn't do it if the clergy of Helm come round. It's one thing chasing off salesmen, but if he starts doing it to missionaries, the roof isn't copper lined here.
Well, we could take him elsewhere. He soon might have the means to.
You can see that she's actually a bit disappointed at the suggestion. She tries to hide it. Well, he's your goat. You of course we must do as you will.
Oh, he does seem to quite like it here. We'll think about it. Thank you. Do you not enjoy the quarters here? The ones we have?
I mean, they're fine and all, but like we didn't get to like, you know, describe what we wanted from a room, and then we're gonna see it made, right? Not bespoke, really. Plus, the other is in a fortress that only we can access, which is kind of nice.
Oh, so they say.
Sure. They being like an order of dragons, though, so it seems pretty on the level.
It reminds me, did we forgo payment on this?
I
Is
think
our
it
only
was in exchange for the transport up to chase up the what are they called? The Azure Coast Court.
Would it? Yeah. Whatever's going
and
on
the
up
Dawn
there.
Singers?
It was for your teleport out to Shpep.
Yeah.
Was the deal you reached.
Mm-hmm.
The undead and all.
Oh, that's the undead one.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's
Yeah.
kind of all sort of like relate, like in the same general direction.
Mm.
Yeah, it was. We would hit that Esparta, Azure, whatever, and then hit the other thing on the way back down to Athkatla. No, no, am I misremembering?
So I think we have established that it's actually pretty far away. The places where the Azure Court has last been seen.
I think it was
The
also
the
a
only
case of-
just the only hope is that the Azure Court actually like got sniff of the undead threat and maybe went there to handle that, and somehow we meet cross paths.
Okay.
yeah, because they were headed one way and then apparently disappeared. So
Yeah.
without any kind of good way of chasing them down, it was like, I guess we do the undead thing.
Yeah,
So
so we need to prepare for that.
you guys had this experience with the winged serpent, and it was related to the singing.
I don't know if it was related to the singing, but for sure, I think the moment, well, at least me, I stepped into the temple, I felt peace, a familiarity, a comfort that I rarely feel in other places. I actually wanted to ask you if you would consider maybe painting an image of what we saw.
Of course, if you can describe it in as much detail as you can, I'll do my best. I'm always up to sketch or paint something new.
The better description you give me, the more it will prompt me to make a better picture.
I'm still
Well, I
working
can-
on a painting that I was going to see if that lady would sell, but that can wait.
Well, I can certainly describe the creature, but I think your imagination will convey it in much more alive than a static statue.
Why do you think it is that
They
they chose you? Why did it call for you? That's what it seems like it was doing.
I don't know. We know the guys that were singing that only we could hear, turns out were just like guys that used to be alive that are now just memories. And this dragon used to be alive and is now just a memory. I don't know.
It might be something to do with our nature.
Indeed. Most curious.
Does Asher not not shiver at that, or
She's just
sort
not
of?
saying anything. She's just kind of like.
Yeah.
She's not doing her like usual like. She's just kind of, not contesting, but not
But
offering up.
it feels like too much coincidence, a demon trying to siphon or defile or raise up the remains of Corvellium, the one of the dragons that stood against Sendax, at least in this plane. And then Corvellium's consort having an epitaph about defying the Uniter, using this particular term, the Uniter.
Just checking, you would know that those weren't Corvellium's remains in the temple.
No, sorry, the consort.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I meant the consort. I wonder if obviously the implication if Corvellian's consort knew of this name, of this title, and tried to stand in opposition is that they knew of events that have not yet passed in this plane. So maybe they knew of your world or a different timeline or of the future.
Perhaps.
The way you came to us with a warning, it seems like these words also come to us as a warning, as guidance.
Well, you know what? We should really get your armor fixed. It might take a little while,
I don't even know if I have the gold for it. But I can
Oh,
certainly.
well, I've got about 200 gold, if that'll help.
I hope I don't need it. How are you feeling?
Me? I'm okay.
Have you shaken off the swamp water from your very brief bout with unconsciousness?
Not my favorite experience, but I've had rough times in the past. But it's always nice to come out the other side and see a fresh light. Plus, sketching that monster helped in a kind of cathartic sort of way.
Well, I'm glad we helped those little creatures. I'm not gonna lie, they were fairly adorable.
Yeah, they were weirdly cute.
Mm.
I'm sure their victims will think so as well.
Would you just let me have a win?
All right, so I should probably pick up some more spell components. We need to get your armor fixed. So since it's only afternoon, do we want to go do that before all the shops close?
Well, if you want to expedite shopping, I'll say that you can pick up components. Cromwell now knows you enough that having looked at the state of this armor, which in some ways is worse, repairing can be more troublesome than replacing sometimes. He thinks it will cost about 600 gold and take about 4 days to complete, but he knows you well enough that he will loan you some half-plate armor while he repairs on it, and you can just give him the gold when you come back.
Yep. Sounds a great offer. Thank you, Cromwell.
Rather than messing around, because we don't really mess with encumbrance too much, if you just unequip your plate armor for now, I will add some half plate to you, and that shouldn't cause... I'll call it loaned half plate armor.
We also need to visit Dawnfather Eartherball. I'm
I thought
pretty
he
sure.
was gonna deliver something to us.
Oh, he's delivering. I didn't recall. I just remember he said he was going to give us some supplies or something. Perhaps some
Yeah.
holy water and that kind of thing.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm fairly certain above the table. I'm fairly certain he was delivering that to us. Wasn't
Yeah,
he?
in 3 days, tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
It would have been
Okay.
2 days you left.
Perfect.
Yeah, so tomorrow before we leave, hopefully we can get that. We should wait around for it before we leave, really. It's worth, waiting around.
Oh yes, and I'm gonna get some tattoos before we leave.
What, as in you're going to do
Sorry,
you're
also-
going to do some tattoos tonight?
She's going to remember
least,
to
yeah.
use her thing, is what she's going to do.
Yeah. At least.
So, shopping concluded, do you head to Platinum Halls, or do you have more business?
I mean, Asher's all for that. She wants to see.
So there's nothing. Ronnie hasn't reported. Harlan is not here.
We'll be back here in the morning to receive the delivery as well.
Sure.
And go on
Yeah.
our
So-
journey.
I don't know if you how you want to provide information, if any is to be given, but Obsidian probably like to check on the painting thing, painting person, and if they maybe have
Oh yeah.
managed
Info on
to
the
get some
artist.
info.
Sorry,
Oh.
all speaking at once. Obsidian, no information's come through yet about the
Never.
the painter. Yeah,
I ordered a scroll.
too many things. Remind me what scroll you ordered. He said, no, and where was it?
Comprehend
typed?
languages.
Yes. Remind me from whom?
The guy in
Okay.
Joaquin's Promenade.
And was he delivering it to you?
Probably not, but I can go pick it up.
Ping me in your channel or create it if you already have it created. I know you do that sometimes. But yes,
Sure
you
could.
can have a scroll of comprehend languages.
Nice.
Is there anything else before we haul it?
Whilst I'm there, I might also ask him about another scroll,
Okay.
but I will probably talk to you about that later.
Please do. That's absolutely fine.
Guess we're going to the Platinum Halls then.
Woohoo! So, guys, do we have party gold somewhere listed? I can't find it.
In your shared party where you've had it for the whole campaign.
No, I know, but I can't see it.
You go to the
Inventory.
inventory.
Oh,
There's
on the very
10,000
top
gold
with all
there.
the full. Sure. Sure.
It has the screen has changed appearance slightly. So yes, you find yourselves in the Platinum Halls
What's
and
his name again?
housekeeper.
Just housekeeper. Okay.
Greetings. Construction has been completed on rooms.
Cool. Show us the way.
You are free to explore. The rooms are
Oh, wait.
indicated.
Where do we go?
Oh, they
And
are
you-
indicated.
You will point to various rooms.
Oh, there's little markers. Yes, this is good.
some rooms are further back in the rear of a hall.
I'm gonna poke my head in Pip's room so I can see.
Mm,
This feels just like home. It's like it was. I mean, I guess it was made just for me. And he, pokes around and looks at some stuff and is silently aware that there's people just like judging his bedroom right now.
Looks really cool in here. This is cool. This is a cute little room.
Oh,
She's gonna.
thanks.
Getting a bit masturbatory here, Luca.
She's gonna get. Who made this amazing work? No. And she's gonna go over here and see that Obsidian hasn't opened his room yet.
Obsidian is in the corner where I believe the painting was thrown towards, and he's currently looking at it.
Yeah, it has been hung delicately on the wall.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
This place was made to spite me.
Pip finds Siri standing just like in the center of the room, kind of like really frozen.
You know, this really does have a vibe of back home.
I proudly feel worthy. It's so beautiful.
I'm sure it'll be very comfortable and you'll get some really good rest here from, all that physical activity.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. It's a nice painting.
Mm.
You gonna leave it hung up there?
No.
Oh. Okay. Can I look
How's
at your
your-
room?
Yes.
What
I
are you
don't
gonna do
think-
with the painting?
Put it on the floor somewhere.
On the floor.
Mm.
What's wrong with the wall?
Amazing.
Do you not want to look at it?
No.
Oh, okay. But you don't want to like throw it away either?
I left it here. It wasn't put there. Anyway. This is sort of looks in different.
And although there's a shimmer that you can tell is illusory, but there is no further substance to it, after what you can still see is the divides of a room. In the distance, you can see the Osro Mountains rising up in the background.
Oh. You got the outside on the inside. Nice.
Mm.
You gonna put the painting on the floor in here?
Well, this all is rather manipulative, wouldn't you say?
Manipulative?
Mm.
No, I guess I wouldn't say. Why would you say?
Looks at the mountains just suspiciously.
I mean, didn't you tell the machine what you wanted?
Hmm. I guess you do have to be careful of that.
Yeah, I think it took you literally.
The algorithm.
So then we'll just jump towards the stone and go to the other side and place the painting indeed on the floor and face down.
Asher's gonna leave him to it and go to peek on Sire's room.
You'll find a very delighted Siri who has taken off her boots and is delightedly showing Pip how her feet don't actually hang over the mattress. See, they usually do. This is wonderful. Look, I can spread my arms. She's gonna star shape on the bed, like a child.
Ah, green.
Dear God.
It's in the boots being taken off.
What is it? What's happened? Why is it green?
Just a jokey stink cloud from your boots being off.
Well, listen, it was swampy, it was humid.
Yeah.
There's, you know, like,
Those
you
are
prestidigitate that.
classy.
It's beautiful. I
It
couldn't
suits you.
have imagined it. Thank you. I feel a bit guilty and undeserving.
Of what, a room?
Of such a room. Fit for some sort of knight or prince
Just gonna
or
take you in your armor. Yeah, it does seem like that.
have you seen yours yet?
No. I was being nosy and looking at all of yours. I'm gonna go to mine now. You can come see if you want.
Zeta's gonna do something a little bit childish and out of character, maybe, but maybe actually really in character. She's gonna look at the room, close the door, then open the door to make sure it's still there, and then close it again.
Okay.
Ah, is this your room? It's a big blank square.
It is awash with alchemical activity.
Oh my word.
Oh my
All
god.
the assets.
At first you can't even see a bed in this room till you realise there's a ladder to almost like a bed on a shelf along the wall, just to make the most of the floor space for all of this clutter and crap.
Ha,
How
you
many,
mean
like,
extremely well picked out items?
How many like floors are there? As in like subfloors, like elevations.
It's just the one, isn't it, Luca?
Yeah, it's just like, so I posted a picture. There's like a step up here, you know, to this that's like built up on wood a little bit, but it's not very high. It's, you know, like chair rail height. And then there's just a little like kind of loft bed built up into the side here that you can take the ladder up to. But Asher will probably always end up sleeping on this rug with all these pillows.
You know, if you ever need more storage, you can potentially do some cupboards on this under this structure. She points
So
at the wooden structure.
Look, there are some. With
There are already
books and
some.
stuff and scrolls and recipes poking out
Gosh.
under where the croissants are.
How did you get all this stuff in here so quickly?
I just
Or-
told the housekeeper or the machine or whatever what I wanted.
I think you're going to be so productive in here.
Yeah, she's
So
going around
much-
like touching everything.
So many potions to brew, you know?
Yes.
What are you going to brew first?
I don't know. I don't even know what some of this is. I'm gonna have to go around and taste test all of it. And
Well, your
figure out
plan was
what
to
it
spend the
is.
night here, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know how
I-
much
See the-
sleep she's gonna get.
I love that I can hear bubbling in something.
Well, there's a cauldron right here. Next to The alchemy table.
Then, if you have no other plans, if each of you wishes to go to your respective rooms, I will move us through to the evening.
Something about that feels ominous, to be honest. But okay.
Oh, I see Obsidian is lingering near the
I
entrance.
I disagree. Yeah. Yeah, Obsidian will. Well, unless someone is busy bodying themselves and checking if everyone's asleep in their beds, Obsidian will return to the guild hall.
Okay.
No, Pippa's like finding Siri and it's
Does
like,
does that destroy something for you?
It's fine. There's always something destroyed.
is Obsidian in his room?
I think
It's very
he's
important
just.
for me.
I think he's just at the front door, or I don't know if he's trying to leave, or he's left, or
Should we sneak a little look inside his room?
no.
No.
That's no.
Oh, okay.
You're joking.
Of course.
You're joking.
Okay, good night.
Housekeeper, have you seen Obsidian leave?
Yes, he left moments ago.
I suppose to have unity if everyone keeps going in different directions.
If there's spare evening time, I'll do some painting as well.
Mm-hmm.
Asher is touching and playing with everything in her room.
Oh my god, do I paint or am I going to transcribe a scroll for the first time?
What's Siri
Both.
doing?
Oh, uh, I'm just gonna go check on Obsidian.
Of course you are.
I'm probably gonna. Well, it's just yeah.
Okay, yeah, you would find him, I presume, back in the guild hall. What, just intending to stay there in your mundane quarters, but don't have a map that was carefully made by anybody.
Well, is he?
That's the plan.
Has he retired? Have you retired
Probably.
already?
I mean,
From adventuring.
I don't know what the time is in the world.
Early evening.
If it's evening, he would probably. If not, he'd be brooding somewhere. Probably nearby the fireplace. Brooding time.
Was the room not to your
Nowadays.
liking?
Hmm?
The room.
About the room. It was strange. It was very to my liking.
Actually, I know exactly what you mean. You won't be staying there with us.
Didn't plan to tonight. We seem to have decent quarters available to us, and he sort of knocks on the floor. I imagine him sitting sort of in front of the fireplace. This feels more real. The castle. Enter through the magical doors. And right now I could use real. I do not comprehend what we are dealing with. I do not understand what we are meant to do, and who thinks we are meant to do it. It's so terribly confusing, and I just, even in this ugly city, feel more in tune with the world that I know.
But do you think you will make sense of things better on your own?
I've been on my own ever since leaving the mountains.
That's not true. That's not true at all. I lost one brother because he would not speak of me, not speak to me about things that troubled his mind. Don't want to make the same mistake. I'm here if you wish to talk. I am also gone if you wish your solitude. Don't feel like you have to be alone if you don't want to.
Sounds familiar.
I'm not the one that keeps turning away. I turned away once. If I recall correctly, you pursued me on Dragonback. You bid me return, and I did.
You know where I am. I am not leaving. Does it matter so much where I sleep?
I can protect you if I don't know where you are.
Quite all right, quite a few capable bodies around here.
It's not about that. But it's okay. I wish for your comfort. I'll see you in the morning, I guess.
Yeah, so you're returning back to the halls, are you, Siri?
Yeah, have you seen my room?
Yeah. So each of you, as night closes in, the hall begins to slowly become darker. But you each find that your rooms have lights, except Asha, it would seem. Bing, there we go. We'll refine that later. Yours came in late. Yeah. And the night is spent in the Platinum Halls for some, in the Keep, in the Guild Hall for others, and I will prompt a long rest from you all.
Siri and Cora start working on a new project together. First, as a sketch in her notebook of a pattern, a new one. It looks like it's going to take a bit of time to work on this. And she doesn't sleep particularly. She has trouble falling asleep because she's kind of just worrying about obsidian.
Okay. Well, morning comes around, and the Dawn Father has already been and gone by the time that you head to the Adventurers Guild Hall, but he's left a satchel with 4 vials of holy water and a superior healing potion.
Mm.
I will write in the channel to remind myself to add to the party inventory. 4 holy water, 1 superior. Is there any business we wish to do before we are sent to Ashburta? It's being sent there seems like a good
Don't think
finishing point. I'm very conscious that Jesus is in the middle of a different location in the city.
I would store half of my rust monster antenna in my room.
We'll still call that, just so we're saying you're not juggling different things, we'll still call that the luggage inventory or the party inventory, just so we're not also maintaining room. We're juggling multiple different
yes,
inventories.
listen, I temporarily forgot about the luggage because I was so excited about my room.
Yeah, you have a bag of holding. Let's not split.
Yeah,
And a locker
that's right.
adventure.
That's right.
Let's not
Nope,
consolidate all of that.
Just forget everything I just said. Everything's
Easily done.
fine.
Do it all the time. Okay. Yeah, any business we want to tend to before we go to Ashburton?
Could we have the week to think about it, just in case maybe if there's some mundane kit we know we're going to a place that is besieged?
No,
Maybe.
because you always all ask me minutes before session, and I have no prep time. So I would like to end this session now retroactively. If there's shopping you want to have done, we can do that. But what I don't want to do is end here and then not know what shit you all want to pull before we start the next session.
We will go to Ashburton.
Yeah, we're going to Ashburton.
But if you want to think about, I'd have popped to the shops and bought this and this, absolutely we can sort that in the chat.
Yeah, okay. That was mostly it, yeah.
Because I know you. Sometimes you'll be like, I'd like to go to the library. And I'm like,
I do want to go to the library.
To the library?
No.
No.
Library is closed for maintenance. The same construction crew who were working on the promenade have now started a job on the library.
Can I go and take the book with me?
Yes.
I check out a book.
Yes. Well, sort of that is in the chat.
Then to Ashburton it is.
Yeah. Magira gathers you and trying to perform a ritual. She gives you a loot of recall. She seems quite troubled at the start of a spell. She starts and stops it a couple of times. She's like, something is preventing me from sending you into the center of Ashburton. There's some sort of ward or shroud. Would you like me to put you as near as I can?
Oh, yes, I certainly hope that's them trying to keep something out and not malevolent forces preventing aid.
One would certainly hope.
But we must help them.
And she will perform a ritual, and you have the same teleporting sensation, but you do, and you find yourselves suddenly in the dark, suddenly wet. I don't know if anybody does have light cast. But yeah, it is raining in a dark forest, almost as if it is the dead of night. You would have heard that a dark shroud has been over Ashburton. Well, you were told that a dark shroud is over Ashburton, so it would not be the greatest shock. But yeah, you are in a dark forest in the middle of a deluge, but that is not the first thing you notice. As you look towards the town in the distance, there is something very unusual hanging over it.
I do not have permission to view this document.
You realise, but you do not have permission to view this document.
Oh,
no.
shit.
Over the town in the distance, we don't have these little. It's more of a village it's not a great big castle like there is here. So there's not that debris being pulled up, but you just see that same strange event looming over a small town in the distance. But from afar, you are still in a forest. It is what you see beyond the forest in the hills.
That's what I get for trying to get reattached to reality.
And yeah, as the trees creak around you in the wind and the rain, I think that is a good place for us to end our session, perhaps.
That's pretty cool.
Terrifying.
Terrifying, but cool.
Cool.
Feel
Well,
like
that's us. We will be back next week. And goodbye.